And we're back with another episode. It's Aiden and Liam, LK and Trust's takes. Today, we're going to talk about the NFL games that happened over the past weekend and what we're going to look forward to ahead of this weekend. We're talking about the NBA and the NBA standings. Some head coaching hirings in the NFL, like the Falcons, Chargers, Lions. Also talk about the Raiders defensive coordinator. And we're talking about the Blue Jays, who are making some big moves in baseball. So first, we'll talk about the NFL games that happened. Here we go. That's Gus Bradley. Okay, so here we'll talk about what happened over the past weekend. Browns Chiefs.
Oh, you want to address the through the end zone rule? That's the controversy.
Okay. We should talk about that. All right. So if you were watching, Rashad Higgins went out, extended for the end zone, fumbled through the back of the end zone. How do you feel about this rule?
Well, I don't know. I honestly, I don't think it's a good rule. I don't like it, but everyone was acting like surprised and upset at it and saying like, the refs, but people are always going to do that when the rule doesn't benefit the underdog. Like, I guarantee you if Tyreek Hill fumbles through the end zone and it benefits the Browns, a lot less people are talking about how bad that rule is. But yeah. I don't know. I think it's a bad rule, but it's there for a reason, and they're not going to change it.
Yeah, when the people give extra effort, they sometimes fumble it and it goes out of the back and it's automatically their team's ball. I could see I could see why they put it in the NFL, but I also see a good reason to take it out because it kind of limits the person who has the ball to extend all the way for a touchdown. So yeah, the line on that one was -10, I believe. We talked about we kind of didn't know what to say about that one.
I think the Chiefs would have won by more than 10 if Mahomes didn't get hurt, but
yeah, Mahomes in question for this week. Okay, yeah, so we don't know if Mahomes is going to play this weekend yet. It seems like he might. But if you're watching the game,
participant.
Yeah, he was like wobbling when he tried to stand up, all this stuff. It was crazy. Ravens Bills. This game was kind of crazy. Lamar got hurt.
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
The Ravens, man, they let me down, dude. The offense was atrocious.
Let them down big time.
Playoff Lamar. I'm the same player. I don't know what to say, dude.
Running back. He's a running back, bro.
He couldn't even run, though.
Didn't even score a touchdown, okay?
Yeah, I know, dude.
4 quarters of football, you don't score a touchdown, you don't deserve to win any games.
Nope. Tucker missed a few field goals, but still.
Yep. Rams Packers. This game, we said we didn't know if Jared Goff was going to play or not. We said it wasn't going to be close. The Rams.
This is about what I thought. I thought the Packers would win by 2 touchdowns, and they did. So.
Yeah, the Rams kind of hung around the whole game, but towards the end it kind of blew up. Yeah. Devontae Adams, Jalen Ramsey, got all that beef. Devontae Adams just manhandled him.
Well, to be fair, like he switched around a lot. Ramsey wasn't on him the whole game, but
but Devontae Adams is one of the better wide receivers. I feel like he's more underrated than some of the other ones. Like Michael Thomas, kind of a big name who didn't catch the football against the Buccaneers.
You can guard Mike. I guess you can guard him. I don't know what to say, dude. 0 catches.
Yeah, on 4 targets, but Buccaneers Saints. This brings us to this game. This line was pretty close. I'm pretty sure it was like a pick 'em almost, but Buccaneers, their defense held through. Drew Brees, last game in the NFL.
It's kind of sad, dude. Him and Rivers are gone now. It's crazy.
Rivers is gone too now. I mean, Rivers did a lot of great things for us in San Diego. I mean, Drew Brees was also on the Chargers at one point.
Yep, he was.
But Saints, obviously, can't guard Mike. 0 catches. You're not going to win that many games. Nope. Emmanuel Sanders fell off harder than AJ Green. We're not going to make too many.
I forgot about it, dude. I really thought he was going to do more. He was good on the Niners.
So now we're in the championship rounds. Liam, what do you think's going to happen this weekend in these 2 games?
Well, if Henny plays, then the Bills are going to win easily, I think. But I still think that if Mahomes plays and he's fully healthy, that the Chiefs will beat the Bills. I'm partly biased because I hate the Bills and I want them to win. So I'm going Chiefs. And then I think the Packers are going to beat the Bucs. I don't think what happened in the regular season is going to happen again. And Rodgers is on fire. And I think Packers have Super Bowl, and I think they end up beating the Chiefs.
Okay. Also interesting, the line in both of these games are +3.
Yeah.
It's easy to see the Bills covering that barely, but it is pretty close. Yeah, if Mahomes plays, I think personally the Chiefs are going to win because I do think Mahomes is going to end up playing, and I think the Chiefs will win, but I think it'll be close, like 24-23. I think the Bills recover. And Packers, Buccaneers, said last week I chose Buccaneers to win the playoffs. win the whole thing. They really played well. Antonio Brown's hurt now; he might not be able to play, but I don't think the Bucks are going to win this game, and I think the Packers cover +3 and win handedly. And then Chiefs Packers in the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I got the Chiefs winning again. So I chose Chiefs in the beginning. Once the Buccaneers came back to the Chiefs, man, you can't.
All
I
right.
hate the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong. As a Raiders
I
fan,
get
like,
it.
I hate the Chiefs. But there's only one team that beat them in the regular season. I want you guys to know that. You know who that was, huh?
Well, okay, technically there was two because
I mean,
the Bolts got him at the end, but Mahomes
I
wasn't
guess.
playing, so.
But yeah, so however much I hate them, I still think they're gonna win. Obviously, I'm pretty sure they're the best team in football pretty easily. So yeah, that's what we think about the NFL. Obviously, could be very wrong about these situations that we chose, or could be right. I mean, I expect us to be right. We're super intelligent about sports and stuff, so I don't really see us being wrong too many times.
Yeah.
But so now onto the NBA. We'll talk about this. So we're gonna look at the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. Liam, which conference do you think is more stacked than the other one?
I mean, the West is better, I think, but I don't know. The East is the West is always better than the East. It seems like, but I think lately the East it's getting better. But I think the Lakers are gonna beat whoever comes out of the East easily.
Yeah, the Jazz. I didn't even know about the Jazz. 10 and
I
4.
10-4, dude. I didn't know that either, bro.
What the heck? I haven't
Look at the Spurs. There's no way. Look at the Spurs, dude. I thought they're gonna be like the 15th seed, dude.
Yeah,
86.
yeah. So this is interesting. We're gonna talk about who we think's gonna make it into the playoffs from each conference. So I'll let you go first, Liam, in the East. You can we'll just say seeds 1 through 8 because 8 teams make
All
the
right.
playoffs, and you just go off of that, and then you can do the
All
West.
right. Well, I think the Bucks are gonna take the 1 seed like they usually do. So I got Bucks 1. I still think the Celtics are good. I'll take them at 2. Sixers are good. I say they stay at 3. Yeah, they say at 3. I think the Nets problems, like with Kyrie coming back, is going to create some problems. They're going to lose some regular season games and end up at the 4 seed. Pacers are underrated. I say Pacers get the 5 seed. Then my Hawks are going to trend upwards once Gallinari and Bogdanovic
Bad
come
right
back.
now. It's real bad right now. 8 bad
Hawks at
points
6. That's what I say. Hawks at 6. I think the Heat recover. They'll come back at 7, and then at 8. I'm going with the Magic. I think the Magic are just good enough to sneak into the playoffs.
All right. I feel like people haven't been talking about this, but are we gonna talk about the Raptors? Okay.
Dude, there's not that much talent on that team, to be honest with you. Like they won 3 in a row there. They were 2 and 8.
Siakam, Van Vliet, Caboose, Lowry. Siakam is known for spinning. No matter how many times he spins, not going to win him any games. Yeah, but obviously people thought they're going to be really good. 5 and 8. That's definitely not what they're supposed to do. But I don't see him making the playoffs either, to be honest. So that's interesting. West, Liam, go ahead.
Lakers will get the 1 seed easily, I think. Clippers at 2. I don't think the Jazz keep this up forever, so I say they still get the 3 seed. I don't know what happened to the Nuggets, dude, all the way down there. I think the Nuggets recover though and make it to the 4 seed. I think the Blazers playing some good basketball. I say Blazers at 5 seed. 6 seed, I'm going Warriors, dude. They're gelling well and they're playing better than I thought. 7 seed Mavericks, dude. Besides Luka, there's not as much talent on that roster than for a championship, I don't think. But
yeah, they need somebody else.
I still think they'll get into the playoffs, so they'll be the 7 seed and the 8 seed. I say the Grizzlies just like last year, or they almost got it last year. Take the 8 seed.
All right. Also, one thing to talk about this, Bradley Beal. I think we might have discussed this last time, but he's obviously big name that now because James Harden got traded. Bradley Beal's a big name that could be dealt. I see the Mavericks. Mavericks could be a good fit for Bradley or the Nuggets because those teams both need one more good player to be able to take them to the next level. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But now I'll give my take on this. East. I agree with Liam. I think the Bucks end up in the 1 seed. Giannis, Chris Middleton's playing great. 2 seed. I'm not gonna lie. I think the Nets are gonna take the 2 seed. I don't think Kyrie, Harden, and Durant are gonna gel that well, but I think they'll be good enough to take the 2 seed. At 3, I would say the 76ers stay there. I would think I'm not gonna lie. I think the Knicks are underrated, especially how they're playing now with Julius Randle out there, former Laker Julius Randle and Austin Rivers out there handling the ball. I say the Knicks jump up there and they go the 4 seed. And
Okay.
yeah, is that bold?
I mean, that's the 4 seed for the Knicks. Are you kidding? Yes, that's bold. What?
I mean, that's just what I think. But 5 Pacers. Pacers pretty good. LeVert obviously has that problem that they found out because of the way that he was traded from James Harden. They found you hear about that?
Yeah, dude. I'm still confused. What happened? Does he have cancer or no?
I don't think he has cancer, but I think that nobody would have seen it unless he got traded, which he did.
So what is it though? Like I'm still. What exactly
I
is
think
it?
it's like I don't know exactly, but it's like some like liver problem or something like that. I think he
Huh.
has to get surgery or something
So
like
he
that.
can't play the rest of this year, right?
I don't know. He might be able to come back later, but I don't think so for a while. But
Hmm.
Levert's underrated. He's pretty good. Pacers, yeah, they don't have Oladipo anymore, but Sabonis is playing like a top 10 center in the NBA now. But at 6, I would say the Hawks as well. I agree with
Sure.
Liam. Hawks jump up there,
Yes, sir.
even with their awful bench, especially
Hey,
when.
hey, a lot of injuries. Okay.
At 7, I say the Heat turned around. They jump up there to 7 seed with Tyler Hero, but I do also see the Heat being able to trade for Bradley Beal, which if that does happen, Hero or Robinson or maybe both will be gone, which will I think wouldn't be worth it for the Heat to be honest. And then at 8, I have the Hornets. Okay,
Okay.
Melo Ball, Devontae Graham over there in Charlotte with Miles Bridges, young group. They're gonna be good for a while. They're not there yet, but I would say about 5 years they'll be up there in the 4 seed around there.
Dude,
But
Devontae Graham kind of fell off. I don't know, dude.
yeah, they have Gordon Hayward. I thought that was a weird signing to be honest. He's like an
Yeah.
old guy coming into a bunch of young players, but I thought that was weird. But he's
Yeah.
playing all right, so we'll see at that. Yeah, I think the Magic finish at 9 and barely miss out.
Hmm.
But over in the West, I'm a big Lakers fan. Okay, we're good. We're real good. Okay, Lakers are winning. They're winning the West easily. Okay, but second will be the Clippers. I would say just barely behind them, not a lot, but just barely. 3, the Suns. I kind of like the Suns. I like their roster, like Booker, Chris Paul. I think they're a pretty good team with DeAndre Ayton playing better. At 4, I got the Trailblazers. One of the right now, since Klay Thompson's obviously hurt, I would say they're the best backcourt in the NBA. But I
Hmm.
would say they're second to the Warriors when Klay Thompson comes back. But so yeah, them at 4. At 5, I see the Warriors jump up there. Okay, they beat my Lakers the other night, but Steph Curry's playing a lot better since he got those braids out. James Wiseman's one of the better rookies in the NBA. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. At 6, this is where I think the Jazz end up. Jazz aren't a 2 seed. I think everybody knows that they aren't going to be a 2 seed. They always end up around the 5 and the 6 seed, and they always go out early. They're not good enough for a 2 seed. 7, I'd say the Mavericks. I didn't really know they had a negative record, to be honest. It's kind of surprising. I didn't think they were going to
Yeah.
be that bad. And then at 8, I would say the Nuggets somehow clinched the
Yeah.
last
Nuggets
seed
all the
barely.
way down to 8. Dude, yeah, the Jazz have won 6 in a row. Let's look at that. That's probably why they're so they
Yeah,
were 4-4. Now they've won 6 in a row. So
yeah. But yeah, I think there's a couple teams that are going to miss out on the playoffs in the West that I think will be good in a couple of years, like the Thunder. They have
yeah,
so many draft picks, dude. And
yeah,
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's good, and the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo.
yeah,
I think
dude.
Lonzo's trash, but
I thought the Pelicans would be better than they are, but I don't
yeah.
know.
All right, so that's what we think about the NBA. Next, we're going to talk about the NFL head coach signings that we saw over the past week. First, talk about Arthur Smith, the Titans offensive coordinator, going over to the Atlanta Falcons. How you feel about this?
I think it's a good hire, dude. People actually didn't realize how good the Titans offense was. Dude, like I think at the end or like towards the end of the season, I don't know if they finished there. They were actually the number one offense in the league, even ahead of like the Chiefs and Packers. Their offense wasn't the problem. It was the fact that no one's guarding anyone on the back end of the defense, and they had literally no pass rush. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good hire.
Yeah, and if you guys saw that, AJ Brown was playing through like 2 broken knees, something like that, since week
Yeah,
2. That dude's a beast.
yeah, he
But
is.
yeah, we'll talk about this later, but I think this could have been a good fit for the Chargers or something like that. But we'll talk
Yeah,
about that later. Apparently Falcons are mentioning Julio and Matt Ryan in trade talks. To be honest, I feel like they shouldn't. Now they have a new offensive-minded coach. I feel like he could help them a lot. But
Yeah.
if they do end up training them, it's going to be a lot harder on him. To be honest, it's going to be Falcons are might be one of the worst teams in the NFL. If
Yeah.
Falcons ads, but yeah, be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Next, the Lions hired Dan Campbell. This was the Saints tight ends coach.
Yeah. I know a lot about Dan Campbell just because he was the Dolphins interim head coach after we fired Philbin in like 2010, and he won his like first 3 games like a hype man. Everyone loved him. He only won like 5-7, dude. People don't realize that he wasn't actually that good, and I think it's kind of a weird hire to hire a tight ends coach as a coach, especially instead of like Dayball or Bieniemy. I don't know why, but you know.
Yeah, somehow Bieniemy hasn't been hired yet. I find that interesting. There's not obviously the head coach jobs are closing quick. Like 4 teams just got head coaches, so there's not going to be much room left for him. But he also with Dabble, he said he was going to stay in Buffalo, which is interesting as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lions are really bad. They're not going to be good for a long time.
Be time to rebuild, trade Stafford, draft a quarterback.
Trade Stafford. But obviously they're going to lose Galladay and Marvin Jones, it seems, so they're just going to be awful. But don't think they have going for him is DeAndre Swift, and he's not even that good. Next, the Chargers hire Brandon Staley. This was weird as well.
Yeah.
Because we thought that the Chargers would need like a more offensive-minded coach than a defensive-minded, but they went with the defensive coordinator from the Rams, Brandon Staley.
I don't know. This is odd. Like he had the number 1 defense in the league, so like, you know, props to him. That's a good job. But yeah, I think you want to get a coach that's an offensive minded, going to work with Herbert, and I don't really know why you would focus on the defense when you have Herbert and Keenan Allen and stuff. But I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I thought Smith, Dabble, or Bieniemy could have been a better fit for this job, definitely.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it plays out. And then this isn't a head coach signing, but I feel like I had to mention this because I'm a Raiders guy, you know. Gus Bradley, the new defensive coordinator for the Raiders. This was frustrating, to be honest. Obviously, if you watched the Chargers D last year, it was obviously they had some guys hurt, but it was really bad. And I have a friend that's a Chargers fan, and he said that he plays scared, never blitzes. I mean, it's fine. We don't have any defensive linemen that are remotely good anyway. It's not going to do anything. But obviously, our defense is like the worst in football. But our old defensive coordinator was awful. Paul Gunther was terrible. He had no idea what he was doing. But we have some young dudes at secondary that are average. Like I think personally, I think Arnett's really bad. If you watch the Dolphins game, that was obviously you could say the safety didn't come over, but I think obviously Arnett needed to make that play.
But, you need a lot of help in the secondary, dude. I don't know how much.
But we got some money. I say all of it. Every single penny goes for this defense, okay? We need to get defensive linemen, and we need to get at least 2 dudes in the secondary because our secondary is awful. Half those people shouldn't even be in the NFL, to be honest. They're so bad. It's terrible.
And maybe focus a little bit on one wide receiver because
Aguilar, I don't know if Aguilar wants to come back yet.
If he does, you could still use one more because Ruggs isn't that good, and Bryan Edwards is barely even a dude in the NFL at this point.
They need to be said. But I would want to get somebody like Will Fuller. I feel like he's more undervalued than some of the other guys, or like somebody like Curtis Samuel. I think Aguilar is better than Curtis Samuel, but I don't think Aguilar wants to come back because he has had like an amazing year somehow. So I think he'll get paid a lot more somewhere else than what we have to offer him. But those are what we think about the NFL signings that we saw over the past week. Now we're going to switch to baseball for a second. And if you pay attention to baseball, you would see that the Blue Jays are making some moves. Liam, they signed George Springer and Kirby Yates.
Yeah, dude. The Blue Jays make it, and they almost got Brantley. It looked like they had Brantley, but I don't know. I guess he pulled back at the last second. I don't know exactly what happened there, but either way, dude, the Blue Jays are going to be a good team. They were good last year. They have a lot of young guys. You know, they made it to the playoffs. And, I think they could have a shot at the division. I know it's tough I think the Rays aren't going to be as good though, because obviously Snell's not there anymore. And the Yankees will be about the same, and they got Kluber, but I don't know. He's kind of washed. So I think the Blue Jays are like a dark horse World Series contender, but I still think they're probably like a year or 2 away.
Yeah, Kirby Yates. Used to be a closer for the Padres. A couple years ago, he was like one of the best closers in the MLB. Last year, he fell off tremendously, and then he got hurt. But we'll see if he can change that in Toronto. To be honest, I could see how Brent Lee felt the deal fell through. I don't want to live in Toronto if I was him. Imagine
Dude,
how
they
bad
probably
that
they
would be.
probably won't even be able to live in Toronto because like the Canadian government like doesn't let teams play there. I don't where they play last year. They're playing like Buffalo or something,
Yeah, it
so
was
that's even
Buffalo.
worse.
Yeah, but imagine, think about that. If you're on the Blue Jays, you travel to America to play a game, you got to go through customs, all that. You come back to Canada, you got to go through
Yeah.
customs and all that, just back and forth, obviously. In Canada, I don't know. I've never been to Canada, but I would think their weather's not as good as most places in America. But George Springer, obviously, really good. Isn't he one of the best playoff players of all time?
Oh yeah, dude. If you look at the stats and you really think about it, like I know it's a crazy thing to say, but like behind Jeter and Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, he's probably the best playoff player of all time. Like he's actually like a really average like um, regular season player if you look at the stats, but like in the playoffs, he's had one of the best playoff careers of all time.
Yeah, he is. He is kind of old though. We talked about this. He's 31 years old.
Yeah,
6 years, 150. DJ
it's a lot.
LeMahieu got nothing near that.
Dude, yeah, he got 6 years, 90. Like, think about it, that's almost three times as much as LeMahieu, and LeMahieu's way better. I don't know how the Yankees pulled that off. Like,
Yeah, he must have wanted to stay in New York badly to take a pay cut.
yeah,
But he's 31. You could definitely make a case this is definitely overpaid a bit too much because he'll be 37 when this contract's over, and we don't even know if he's gonna be playing baseball by then. So we'll see about that. And then Kirby Yates is on a 1 year, 5.5 guaranteed. The Padres, we're gonna offer him somewhere around there, but he didn't want it. I mean, makes sense. They can re-sign Rosenthal. We didn't need him anyways, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens in the AL and the NL. MLB will definitely be interesting this year, especially with all the games being played again, not 60 anymore.
yeah.
But
I hope all the rules come back, the DH and the playoff rule, and then the actually I don't like the seven inning doubleheader, but I hope the runner on second base to start extra innings comes back as well.
yeah, because extra innings took a long time when there wasn't
Yeah, I
on
know.
second base.
Yeah,
But I think the universal DH would be stupid if they don't bring it back to everybody because it obviously made the game a lot better, made it more fair, to be honest with you.
yeah,
But okay, so that was us today. We talked about all the interesting things. We're gonna be posting every Thursday over on our YouTube channel at LK and Trust's Takes. It's great content. There's nothing else to say. This is great
excellent.
content. Like you slap that notification bell,
Yep.
subscribe. You'll know when we post. Be one of the first people to see it. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next Thursday. Thank you.
See it.